What's up guys, my name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the positive comments and encouragement on it wasn't my last video, but 2 videos ago where I talked about how I'm struggling with YouTube, and I just feel such a weight lifted after filming that video and knowing that I can just make content when I feel like I have time to, and I'm not forcing myself into any sort of schedule right now because that's just not working for my life and it's causing too much stress. And this is supposed to be something that brings in money for my family, but also I enjoy. And this shift of mindset has made it a lot more enjoyable. So thank you guys for all the understanding on that video. I also am excited because I think I found a new filming spot. I didn't make my bed today because Miles is sleeping and I didn't want to disturb him. But normally I think I'm just gonna film right here. I've got a little window here, so I've got some natural light and a little ledge I can put my camera, and it's just really quick to set up. So I think this is gonna be my new spot, filming right here. So anyway, what is this video about? We are going over my August 2023 budget. I have to say, this is my favorite time of the year. I love summer and fall, it's just the best. And then you get into the holidays, the second half of the year I feel like is way better than the first half. January to June is just not as fun. So I'm really happy to be in the second half of the year and making these budget with me videos because this is just a fun time of year. So let's go ahead and take a look at my budget spreadsheet. By the way, if you like this spreadsheet, then you can get it for yourself in my Etsy shop, linked below. It's an instant download to Google Sheets. And if you want to get this spreadsheet along with my debt payoff and annual financial goal tracking spreadsheet all in a bundle, you get a discount versus buying them separately. And that is also in my Etsy shop. So I'll link both of those below. All right, August. So we are expecting total income of $12,209. This is our gross income. So income before taxes and insurance and everything comes out, 401k deductions. This is not how much will actually hit our bank account, but ever since we paid off all our debt, I decided to switch to the gross budget because I like seeing the actual percentage of how much we're investing each month. This is the way we can actually see that because there are 401k contributions that come out of my husband's paycheck pre-tax. So $12,209, let's see how we spread that out this month. So for taxes and insurance, that comes right off the top. We've got $2,482 going to taxes and $670 going to insurance and our FSA for a total of $3,152. Next, we've got Pay Yourself First, which is savings and retirement. And we've got 2 things for Pay Yourself First. My husband's 401k, so that's $300 per paycheck and he gets paid twice this month, so $300 per paycheck. And then we've got our stock options that we're exercising. That is our other financial goal that we're working on for this year. And so we have budgeted $274 for that. Now, I talked about Pay Yourself First recently on my Instagram, but I just want to kind of take a second and talk about Pay Yourself First because I haven't touched on this in a while. Pay Yourself First is a really, really important part of budgeting, and it's kind of like a 2-pronged thing. There's 2 steps to it, 2 phases to it. So first of all, when you're actually doing your budget and putting it together for the month, you want to look at what are your goals for investing, savings, retirement, whatever would fall into the Pay Yourself First category, and work off of those goals when you're putting the number into your actual budget. So if your goal is to save or invest 10% of your income every single month, then you take whatever your income amount is and you calculate 10%. So if it was $10,000 and you want to save 10%, you'd be saving $1,000 a month, and you put $1,000 a month into your budget. And that way you are putting that first off the top, and then you make all of your expenses fit whatever your saving or investing goal is, because it's a mental shift that happens when you are thinking, okay, this is stuff that is non-negotiable. It's almost like a bill that I have to pay, and then you make everything else that's, a little bit flexible fit, and your variable expenses fit in with that Pay Yourself First amount, versus you put in all your expenses and you put whatever's left over into Pay Yourself First. So that's step 1. Now, you may run into a situation like we're running into where I have a goal of putting 15 to 20% to retirement every month, but our income has not kept up with inflation, and so our grocery budget has gone up by several $100s. Our utilities have gone up by several $100s. Our gas has gone up by $100. Things cost more than they used to, but our income hasn't gone up enough to be able to keep up with our big picture goals. So right now we are not really technically doing that first step with Pay Yourself First, and I don't like that, but that's where we're at, and I'm aware of it, and I'm, taking steps to try to work to get us back there. But if you are truly doing a pay yourself first method, you are calculating what you want for your financial goals and putting that into your budget first and then making everything else work. But at the end of the day, you can only cut so much. Like you can only cut back on your gas and your groceries so much for what works for your family. And one thing that's important to us, for example, is buying organic food. So we buy mostly organic food. If we didn't, our budget for our groceries would be less and we could put more to pay ourselves first. But that's a choice that we've made, you know. So rather than cutting those things, we're working on increasing our income. And I keep saying this, I've been saying this for the past year, but we have a few things in the works that are hopefully going to pan out, and things are just taking longer than expected because the economy has not been what we hoped it would be, but we're still working on increasing our income. So hopefully we can get back to a true pay yourself first method. So that's step one. Step two is actually paying yourself first during the month. So right when the month starts, making those contributions as soon as possible so you don't accidentally spend that money elsewhere, or you have something else that comes up that's more expensive for the month and you decide, oh, I'm just gonna cut back on pay yourself first, because that'll happen. So what we do try to do, and we do stick to for a true pay yourself first strategy, is right at the beginning of the month, we pay whatever amount we're going to pay to stock options. So $274 this month. So we'll do that $274 right at the beginning of the month. And then if there's any extra money left over at the end of the month, we will also make an additional contribution, or like throughout the middle of the month, if we get like an extra $100 because somebody got some birthday money or something like that, we'll put that extra $100 towards financial goals typically. So that's step two of pay yourself first, is just paying yourself as soon as possible in a way that the money's out of your account and it can't accidentally be spent elsewhere. So I just wanted to talk about that because it's really important. And if you haven't heard of Pay Yourself First and you just don't really know what that's all about, that's kind of high level how it works. Okay, so $874 going to savings and retirement this month. Looking at debt, we have no debt, so nothing for debt in the budget, which just feels so amazing. I just love it so much. It's awesome. Okay, fixed expenses, which I keep forgetting to change this. This is just expenses because they are not all fixed. Okay, so storage, $212 for our storage unit. We moved out of our house into an apartment that is half the size that our house was, so we cleaned out a lot, but we needed storage, so that's what that's for. Our rent is $3,225. We've got life insurance, internet and cell phone altogether this month is going to be $115. I think that's where it's going to be, around there, $115, $130 or so. We just switched our cell phone to a way less expensive plan. The service is actually better than it was. I don't know why we didn't do this sooner. I was with Verizon for 21 years. I think I was just comfortable with what I was in and I didn't want to risk something because I use my phone so much, but it's been great. So highly recommend checking out other options. We have Xfinity Mobile because we have Xfinity Internet, so we got a bundle for a really good deal. I know Mint Mobile has great deals. I know there's a lot of like reliable providers out there that charge less for cell phones. So I'm really glad we're not paying over $200 a month for a cell phone. We now pay for cell and internet the amount we used to just pay for internet. So that's been awesome. Security is $28, and then we've got Spotify for $10. We've budgeted $1,200 for groceries. This amount has been working well for us, $300 a week for our family. I know it's a lot, it's just what works. I'm really, really happy with this number. So I feel like we can succeed in staying on budget with this number. All right, gas, $2.25. We've just been going more places, so we've upped that, and I think that's a good place to be. Photos, this is exciting. So we have not taken professional photos since my husband and I got married, which was 10 years ago. And so we booked a photographer for like a week from now, and we are gonna go get professional family photos, and I am just so excited. I've been like putting together outfits, and it's just gonna be so fun. So it's gonna be $330 for the session, and then we get all the edited digital prints, and then we'll have to print them separately. But we really liked this guy's website. I felt like that was like a reasonable price to pay for photos. So we get like a 45-minute session, I think, and we're doing it outdoors at a nearby park, and hopefully we have good weather. So fingers crossed for that. And then miscellaneous, we always give $25. So for expenses this month, we budgeted $5,533. Okay, sinking funds, my favorite part of the budget. yeah, let's take a look. So we aren't putting anything for our emergency fund or vacation fund this month. We do have $1,500 in the vacation fund, and we are actually taking a trip in August. I'm so excited, so we'll be spending some of that money. It's actually a pretty low cost trip because we are traveling with my mother-in-law. She used points for our flights, which was very nice of her. So we didn't have to pay for flights, which is awesome. And we are borrowing a family car because we're going to visit, we're visiting family, and someone's lending us a big car that we can use for all of us to fit into. And then we are staying with family when we're there. So, you know, we don't have to pay for flight, rental car, or hotel. So it's just basically like parking at the airport and food while we're there. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be so much fun. I know when you have young kids, it's a trip, not a vacation. It's not going to be like super relaxing because our kids are still going to get up at 5:45 in the morning. But I think it's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to it. So, okay. Spending money, my husband, myself, and my 2 daughters each get $150 a month. For the girls' activities and preschool, we budget $1,000, although starting next month, we're gonna have to increase that a little bit, I think, because the preschool fees go up every year in the fall, so we'll have to see how much they go up there. And then for Miles, he gets $250. This is Miles, he's sleeping right there. He's gonna be 10 in November. And then for gifts, we budgeted $50, and for car maintenance and apartment maintenance, we have also budgeted $50. It's nice to not have to budget like several hundred there, like when we owned a home. Although I am kind of missing homeownership a few months into renting. Like, I do really love this apartment. It's a great temporary spot, but I definitely don't see us being long-term renters now that we've been here. Like, I was wondering maybe we would rent and I'd be like, I'm so happy here, I can see us being here like 5 years, but it's definitely like, I don't know if you can hear in the background, you can hear my upstairs neighbor walking around, just stuff like that, where it's just like, you know, you're not in your own building, like you share walls, which is fine. We knew that going into it, and it's, again, a great temporary spot, but we are kind of like still working on thinking about where we're going to go from here, because we definitely do want to buy something and have a situation where we have a backyard for the kids, a garage, and we don't share walls. So it's tough right now because the housing market's so unaffordable. And like in one of the towns we were looking at, there's 9 houses on the market in the whole town right now. There's just no houses. So we'll figure it out. I'm just going to stay really positive and know that, like, okay, there may only be 9 houses and none of them are quite right for us in like one of the towns we were thinking about, but like there are 9 families that are going to get those houses. Like, it's not like no one's getting houses. So you have to get lucky, you have to put in a good offer. But for now, this is great. We've been loving this apartment life. So, okay, utilities, a little disappointing. We thought our utilities would go way down in this apartment, but they are less than the house, but definitely not super low. I budgeted $500 this month because last month, that you'll see in our July budget with me or budget recap, that our utilities went over budget. And one of the things that did happen is we were running air purifiers like for a couple weeks when there were those fires in Canada and the air quality was really, really bad in our area. We were running some air purifiers to help with that. And so obviously that's expensive for like electricity wise. So our electric bill was pretty high compared to what it was the prior month. So hopefully that was like a temporary thing. It's also just been so hot, and yeah, we keep our AC in like the mid 70s. It's not like we keep it at like 68. So yeah, I'm gonna just let it go. I'm just not gonna get mad about this utility situation. Utilities have been expensive for us, and I think that's just the new normal. And so yeah. And then for Christmas and my girls' birthdays, we are officially through with both of their birthday parties. So the rest of the year, this money is just for the Christmas fund, which is really fun and exciting. And I just love this time of year because we get like the rest of summer, and then fall is really fun and cozy, and it's still pretty nice out. You can still enjoy outdoor weather, and you're kind of like sick of the hot and the bugs and the humidity by that point. And so you're like, okay, it's like 50 degrees, you need a jacket, but it's still like sunny and nice out. And then it gets like to the holidays, and yeah, so just to be saving for Christmas and knowing that that's like a few months away, it's gonna be so fun. With the girls this year for Christmas, one's gonna be 4.5 and the other is gonna be 1.5. The 1.5-year-old, she's like way, obviously more attuned to what's going on than she was last year. Hi, Miles. So she's like way more aware of what's going on, and she's gonna love all the decorations and the things. One thing about our storage unit that I did not realize, it's so tight in there that we're not able to really access anything in there. So it kind of sucks because like our Christmas tree, we use like a fake Christmas tree. I have no idea where it is in that unit, and like there's no way we're gonna get it out. So it's just packed to the brim, and I was hoping we could get in there and like sort some stuff out, but we're not doing that in the summer, and we're just so busy. It's just not a high priority. So I wish we had gotten rid of more stuff before we moved, but I literally did everything I could. We got rid of so much stuff, so it just accumulates. It's wild how much it accumulates. So anyway, what was I talking about? Our fake Christmas trees in storage. So I think we're gonna get a real tree this year, which will be kind of fun to go pick it out with the kids. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to the whole thing. So it's gonna be nice. All right, so $2,650 going to sinking funds. So let's take a look at how everything's allocated. So this month we've got 25.8% of our money going to taxes and insurance. That's pretty standard. It's usually between 25 and 30%. And then pay yourself first, we're only at 7.2%. Hopefully we can end up doing at least 1% better by the end of the month than we have budgeted for, but you know, we'll see how it goes. And then we've got 45.3% going to expenses. Again, let me change this from fixed to just expenses. And then 21.7% of our money going to sinking funds. So that is our budget for the month. If you enjoyed this budget with me, then give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, then subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.